This crispy chicken is from a taco place.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place?
The taco place?
Taco place. It comes in a burrito, too?
From your taco place, it's also a chicken place that's also a taco place.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. It's the best time to trade in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV with the room to haul your payload or playload. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Bronco fans, the new Boise State trading cards are here, and you can only get them at Jackson's.
Start collecting them today.
Jackson's, let's go!
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live from BroncoNationNews.com is presented by RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Western Collective Studios. Head down to Western Collective's locations in Garden City or downtown Boise to try some of their delicious beers, including the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the first beer to support an NIL collective. Now, here's four-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Well, good morning, Bronco Nation. Happy Monday as we get one day closer to game day here for Boise State and South Florida. We are on location today down at Boise State. Excited to be down here in the Allen Noble Hall of Fame at the all-new blue and orange store. Look at this palace, the unbelievable hat wall, one of the coolest spots that you're going to want to make a daily stop for you if you're coming down to visit the Blue, if you're coming to a game. This is just an unbelievable spot. We're happy to be here. And I've been saying for years, Mike Prater, they needed to have it. They now have it. Merchandise for visiting the Blue.
Oh, I see that. I saw the blue shirt. So that's pretty cool. I have a question right off the bat, and I know you're going to introduce our.
Well, hold on a second before we get to the question. I want to show this. You can now get a jersey made with any player you want. So any player, you see they've got several of them up here. I mean, when was the last time you saw an offensive lineman's jersey available for purchase here? But any player you want on the entire team. I understand we can even get a Mike Prater jersey made here. We have the machine right here. This is how you do it. It's going to be a pretty cool thing that they started here. And we're excited to be here. We got BJ Rains. We got Travis Hawks, man of the hour with the Blue and Orange store. We got Mike Prater, and going to have some fun talking Boise State and business and Blue and Orange store and everything today. How you doing, Mike?
Travis, I got a question for you on that hat wall right there. How many?
Sir.
Is it like 1,000 hats on that wall?
There's way more than 1,000 hats.
Way
Mike.
more than 1,000 because there's like 400 little cubbies, but each cubby has like 10 hats in them.
Yes, sir.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
Over a hat wall of over 1,000 hats, BJ. This is like our dream. Can we get one of those for our bedroom?
And look at this. Look at this. We got Mike Prater wearing a Boise State hat right here. Look at this. We got the Boise logo on here. We made it happen today. Mike taking one for the team here. But Travis, excited to have you on today. We got a lot to discuss, and obviously you're a huge fan, but a huge supporter of this program, financially and in other ways. And we got this palace here now, the next step in that process. And we appreciate you coming down and for having us, man. How we doing?
Doing great. Great to have you guys here. We've been talking about this for a while and getting this store, continually built out. And we're excited. We've been getting great reception when people come, and we're going to have a whole lot of people when game day gets here in a couple weeks.
I think you can see us okay. I think you can hear us okay. Fingers crossed. Let us know if there are any issues with any of our mics, and we'll get that figured out. But right off the bat on the intro there, folks are going crazy about being able to purchase a Sire Gaines jersey now.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we this was one of the big game changers for this year. We've been working on this for a long time, but in partnership with Nike and Boise State, being able to offer every player on demand. including, like you said, Mike Prater can get a Prater jersey if he wants. But this is the first time this has been available, where you can do any name, any number on the jerseys.
I remember doing, back in the Statesman days, this is probably 15 years ago, calling you. I don't remember the details, but there was some kind of a controversy. It wasn't a big one. It was probably Prater fabricating something stupid. But in terms of somebody trying to buy in a jersey and trying to put a name on the back, I mean, it was highly illegal a long time ago, wasn't it?
For sure. I mean, this obviously pre-NIL, you couldn't do it. And that was, one of the crazy things. We've been at this for so long. And so we always talk about, going through that first Fiesta Bowl season, and we sold thousands of 41 jerseys, right?
That's right.
But we couldn't put Ian Johnson's name on the back because, that was against the rules at that time. And of course, so many Kellen Moore, 11 jerseys sold during that time. And so there was a lot of controversy about that, and wasn't great that the players, couldn't participate in that, and also that the fans couldn't have the name on the back. And then there actually was a time where Boise State and some other schools actually just said, we're not going to allow different numbers because they were worried about this legal issue of, well, obviously this is a Ian Johnson jersey that you're selling. So there was a time where they only licensed number 1 to be made, and that went for a few years.
I think that might be the story where I contacted you. I remember that, and that was a kind of a big deal.
Yeah, that was a hard thing because fans, would come in and want a certain number, and we just couldn't offer them for a period of years. So it's a big change now. Obviously, with NIL, that opened it up the last few years. We were able to sell tons of Genty jerseys, last year. But this is a new day where we can make one jersey at a time with any name and number on it, and print them here on demand.
What about former past and player numbers? Folks are asking about can they purchase a previous player combination with a name and number?
Yeah, so you do get into licensing issues with that. We do have Ashton Genty jerseys. We have Kellen Moore Boise State jerseys. But as far as other kind of past players, like we would need to have a licensing agreement with them and able to do that. Whereas for the current team, we have that kind of master agreement with all the players. So someone comes in and buys that O lineman's jersey, that player is automatically getting that royalty.
But in terms of the number, like if I'm a family and our family favorite number is 37, or for whatever reason, I can come in and buy 7 Smith jerseys, or buy 7 number 37s and put Smith on the back. Yes. It doesn't matter the number, and I can distribute it to my family as a favorite family memento type of thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's not a player and number. I guess it's not a last name and a number of.
Yeah, if you're the Madsen family and you're getting number 4, then obviously that's going to impact the quarterback. But otherwise you can do that. And then the other big change this year, and part of our store down here, is we're also doing on-demand T-shirt printing. And so that's another thing, is there's different designs already built. And if someone wants a Sire Gaines T-shirt, they can pick from several designs, pick it, and we're going to print it right here while they wait.
We're getting all kinds of, they're loving Travis, and they're already hating on us, Mike Prater. Bronco 130 says, imagine one guy on the screen making money off Boise State and actually being a fan and supporter of Boise State. Thank you, Travis. They're giving you crap as well for your hat. That's the new style everybody likes, right?
People like the upside down. The upside down has been
the Tyson Degenhardt hat.
It's been hot, not just for Boise State, for LA Dodgers, all kinds of teams.
Now you're okay, Travis, to kind of peruse the comments, because they're all going to be positive towards you. I've done post-game shows after Boise State basketball lost, where Leon Rice may have peeked down at some of the comments, and I had to change the screen very quickly before that got a little bit ugly potentially. But they are saying no Sire Gaines options online. Is that true, or any thought why that's the case?
Yeah, we will have them. We just, I mean, this has all happened in like the last week, where getting the blank jerseys from Nike, getting the machine, getting trained on the machine. These were literally just printed last week. So we definitely will have those up online here in the next day or two.
Mike, as someone that's kind of seen the evolution of this building and this Hall of Fame and this space, when you walked in, this was your first time seeing this. I mean, I know they have other bigger plans here that we can get into with Travis in terms of the Hall of Fame and some renovations and things there. But for you, the use of this space over what it previously was, I mean, you walk in this door and it changes the look and feel of this place.
100%. And it is really, really cool. And not to get too down in the weeds, I've always thought that this is such a valuable, such a beautiful space that they could always do more. So I know the Hall of Fame thing here got a little squirrely for a while, and this building, it seems like it's kind of coming and going with stuff, and they do a fantastic job Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, in terms of the Blue Turf ambassadors and getting people out there to see pictures. That's a system that's definitely in place, but using the space around it and making it available more than just eating buffets on game day. So interactive, Travis, you say there's a whole bunch of people that come down here, that business is popping. I think this is a great use and interactive of this space, and it sounds like there's a lot more things to come, especially on game days.
Yeah, and I'll give a lot of credit to Cody from Boise State. It was really his idea to do a store in here, and as a lot of people know, there used to be a retail store down by the ticket office, and they've turned that into the Bronco Pro kind of studio area, and so they were kind of rethinking what they wanted to do on retail. And when we went through the RFP process to become the athletic department's merchandise partner, this was part of the plan, was this Hall of Fame location, and again, Cody's idea, and it's been awesome. I mean, I'm amazed at how many people show up here every day to see the Blue Turf from all over the country, all over the world. There's literally, tens of thousands of people a year just coming here to see the turf. So to have a great, retail presence here is awesome. On game day, the Lyle Smith Society function is in here pregame.
Yeah.
But on game day, we're going to have 7 different retail locations set up, around the parking lots and in the stadium, et cetera. And, as I said, I think I was on the show when the deal was first announced in June. Like we're going to continue to learn and get better. We're going to learn a lot as we execute game days for the first time. But we want to, our big thing in wanting to partner with the athletic department on this was we've seen so much innovation in the athletic department with game day, with everything they're doing. We want to match that from a retail experience standpoint for fans.
And when you say partnership, I mean, it's financial. It goes both ways, right? For every T-shirt that's bought, I mean, it goes back to Boise State in some degree, right? Yeah, specifically to the athletic department. So they have control over their venues, right? So we are going to be the merchandise partner for all athletic events. So that's not just football, that's also basketball, that's volleyball, that's soccer. Wow. We will have a retail presence at all of those events, and that's in partnership with the athletic department. And so, yeah, absolutely, they're getting a percentage of all of those sales, and that's again why we want to make it better, make it innovative. It's a great partnership because, as you know, we are in an environment where every new dollar of revenue matters. And this is one way that we can grow revenue for the athletic department. And I know you got a question, BJ, but one more thing that just really kind of blew me away, and this is the part that I didn't know, is 7 game day kiosks scattered not only throughout the stadium, but inside the stadium? Yeah, absolutely. So, we're again the partner for all athletic events. And so we're going to be in the stadium. We're going to be in the parking lots. This store is going to be open on game days. And then I was mentioning before the show, we're already working on plans for the North End Zone expansion, which I don't think people realize what a game changer that's going to be when that's finished next year. But we're going to have dedicated retail space in that North End Zone expansion as well. Yeah, and I kind of joked about it in the intro, Mike, but I always thought it was kind of crazy. They talk about how many countries people come visit from, how many different places. And unless I missed it in the other previous store over there, I never saw anywhere where you could buy merchandise that actually commemorated your visit to see the field itself. And so they have right behind me, right there on one of the sides, it says, "I saw the blue," and it's in blue. They have it in white. There's like some stickers and patches over here as well. So some actual merchandise for the thousands of people that come to visit the blue, I think is pretty cool also. Yeah, absolutely. And it's been super popular. It's like, going and visiting Niagara Falls, right? You're going to get your mug or your keychain or your sticker or your t-shirt. And so we're seeing that. We're also, and it's continuing to evolve. I mean, we really just finalized, this deal in May, June timeframe, and there's lead times on things. So we're continuing to evolve our selection and get things in. But another big thing we're excited about is a lot of sport specific merchandise, for the volleyball, for the soccer, for the basketball.
gymnastics, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, we do want to talk a little bit of sports here, but we're obviously very thankful and appreciative of you for having us down here, Travis. And for, I say it every time you come on, but I mean, Mike Prater has to come on the day that you come on, because Mike Prater wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. So we, maybe that might deter some people from wanting to shop here. I don't know, but we do appreciate it. And you, when I talked to you about having the chance to bring Prater on a couple years ago, you upped your investment with us to help make that happen. And so I know I've made that public before, but I just want to again publicly thank you, because you were one of the founding folks that kind of pushed me over the ledge to do this. And we're building, and it's getting bigger and bigger. And you've been from day one, even before we started this, a big supporter of mine and Bronco Nation News. So publicly again, wanted to say thanks, man.
Yeah, it's been fun to be part of the journey with you guys, and we're all about growing the Boise State ecosystem, and what you're doing is part of that, and obviously big supporters of the teams and helping in every way we can.
Now, Blake does have a good idea for a shirt here. He wants to know if he can get I peed in the trough shirt.
That one may not make it through licensing, but
come on now, that's perfect.
Yeah, there's some good things coming to the east side in the future. It's a great time to be a Bronco.
Bronco 130 did say, opposing teams logo stickers. Maybe you could sell that to put inside the troughs on game day instead. But Vlad says nothing better than unwrapping a Christmas present, seeing a box with the blue and orange store.
I love it. So, I love it.
Again, we're down here at the Blue and Orange store. Now, this is open during normal business hours, normal hours of the Hall of Fame, I guess.
Yeah. So right this time of year, the Hall of Fame's open basically Monday through Friday, kind of a 9 to 5 type thing. And so we're here when the Hall of Fame is open. And then obviously, again, on game days, we're going to be open here and all of those 7 locations around campus all day.
Well, excited to talk more about this and Boise State sports. Let's take a quick 30-second timeout. Thank our sponsors. We're back in 30 seconds talking Boise State football as we get closer to that opening game here on Bronco Nation News.
Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, RovePaint.com. Our major sponsors, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, Lithia Ford, the Blue and Orange Store, Jackson's, and our contributing sponsors, Signature Roofing, Western Collective, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Boucher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and Timberstone Golf Course.
All right, if you watched our open mic, Prater, while we're talking about sponsors and everything else, we might as well keep it going for another second here. But they have the new trading cards are out, and they also have the new specials with Jackson this year. The Breezy Bundle is back for another year. I want to throw that out there. If Breezy Dubar gets in the end zone, you do get another touchdown this year. And then when Latrell Capel scores, Jackson will pour 49-cent soft drink on a Monday after Latrell Capels gets a touchdown. So we're excited about that. But we are also happy that today is the official unveiling of the trading cards, Mike Prater. Those are a big deal for Boise State. Those are back. You can get yours today at the various Jackson's locations, or at least this week. They will go into the Jackson's locations, I believe, as early as today. They're going to be announcing this officially later today, but they were kind enough to let us kind of have the first unveiling here on the show. And Mike Prater, you are holding right there in your hand a pack of trading cards.
I even like the way that these are packaged too, and it's really, really cool. And I remember these from last year, so these are all big deals. So looking forward to that, and cannot wait to get my. So are some of these autographed? Like, can I get a Maddox autograph?
Yes, there will be some randomly inserted cards that are autographed. There's all different kinds of some film signature cards and all kinds of things. And so they're randomly inserted, and you can have a chance to win. So those are now available at Jackson's. And it is crazy, Travis. You mentioned the jerseys and how that has changed with putting names on them and stuff. And I mean, you probably never would have thought the day you'd seen, officially licensed trading cards with players' pictures and autographs, and just another step in this weird journey of NIL.
Yeah, no question. I mean, again, we've been in this business for a long time, and it has changed a lot, over those years, and it just evolves, and yeah, it's changed a lot here in the last few years.
Well, in terms of like these uniforms, like if I come in and buy like a Cage Casey number 77, that obviously some of that money goes back to the university. We just talked about that, but is there an NIL component built in for these specific players?
Yes. Yeah. So they've all signed the kind of master agreement. And so, yes, every time a Cage Casey jersey is sold, there's a mechanism in place where, there's essentially a split of the funds, and those funds are ultimately split between the player, between the school, on their kind of overall royalty deal that just goes to the university, and then obviously here, the athletic department.
All right. Well, so here's my first official football question of the day then.
Let's hear it.
Well, while we're doing this, after you ask your question, can you go ahead and unveil? Can you open the first pack of cards here? Maybe you get lucky on.
I think I heard there's a Jay Tust card in each pack.
Last year the answer was obvious. This year, not so much. When it comes to merchandise sales, who's the most popular Boise State player?
Like, who will it be this year?
Who will it be? Let's forecast that. Who's getting the bigger check based on just kind of merch and a couple bucks?
I feel like it's possible it's going to be Ashton Genty again.
Was Genty and Kellen Moore still 1 and 2 last year or something?
Yeah, I mean, Kellen still sells. The Genty stuff last year was wild, and we're still selling a lot of Genty jerseys. But I think who knows? I think it depends on. I mean, if Sire Gaines, starts going wild, like, we're going to sell a lot of Sire Gaines jerseys.
Yeah, you are,
and a lot of Sire Gaines t-shirts.
Was this a special one we got here?
And I think Matt.
Gage Casey card.
Oh wow!
The very first pack.
Wow!
I may need to.
You got to save that. That's
an autographed Gage Casey card. Prater just kind of blew right past it there on the intro. It was backwards.
Yeah.
And a signature series Gage Casey autographed card right there on the.
You got to save that. That's one of the best cards you can get with the.
But that's actually very cool, man. That's really
with his NFL draft status. That's a valuable card.
I was just about to say you didn't. I guess there's a Caples card there, but it didn't exactly seem like you had the
no Jay Tuss card. Huh?
Here's a card just with a circus.
Oh yeah,
I got the card for the play there, and not to call anybody out by name, but at first glance I was like, you didn't exactly get the star power on the cards there.
No, I didn't. I didn't. But there's Colton Boomer, your potentially new. He's either the first team kicker or third team kicker. That's not a bad deal there. So.
I saw Cameron Bates in there.
There's one. I thought I knew all 108 players on this team. There might be one guy.
There's 2 or 3 you went through that I wasn't sure about. So
we won't flash it.
Travis, and by the way, if people were saying there's 30 minutes left to vote for the Blue as the best sports attraction out there on that contest, so you can get out there and vote for that. But Travis, we are, I think, 10 days away from that season opener. About a week away from the team heading down, a week from tomorrow. Just your general thoughts here on this team, man. It's obviously coming off a pretty incredible year last year, but it seems like expectations are just as high, if not higher, this year.
I feel like expectations are always high, right? And that's kind of just part of being at Boise State. But I feel like, everything I see here is I just think there's a lot of great stability with the team, with the staff, with the culture. And I just think all those intangible things are in a really good place. And I think that matters a lot. It's hard to just say, oh, we're just going to repeat what happened last year, because it was such a magical season. And you had a Heisman Trophy candidate, right? And almost Heisman Trophy winner on the team that single-handedly won some of those games. But I was thinking about this morning, as much as we're going to miss Ashton, sometimes when you have one generational talent, sometimes there can be a little bit of that waiting for that guy to take over and win the game. And sometimes when that player is removed, it kind of everyone else is like, oh, I got to step up. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Obviously, high expectations. I have high expectations. I think it's going to be a great season. But I don't think this first game is any walk in the park. I mean, anytime you're flying all the way to Florida and you're going to have some insane heat and humidity.
And that point spread keeps trickling down too. Folks are the sharps, so to speak. It looked like are might be on South Florida on this one.
Are they into the 5s yet? Because it started off at 9 last night.
It's like 5.5, 6. Yeah, it's been coming. I have seen 5.5 in some places. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, and remember last year, very similar type game at Georgia Southern, and that that was a very losable game, right? I mean, we barely kind of hung on and won that game. So. Anything can happen down there, but it's an important game to come out and get that W.
And they got the quarterback. I know we're going to now is about the time this week, Mike Prater, where the team's flipping the page, and we're going to flip the page and dive in. But I know they do have a quarterback and a weatherish. Luckily, this first hurricane looks like it's going to be not an issue, and you never know going down there what's going on in the future down there as well. But it is. I know we've been talking about this for 6 months, Mike. But now that we're 10 days away from kickoff, it is pretty crazy when you lose Ashton Genty. And you lose, Ahmed Hassani and just some of the talent. But at the top, a guy like Ashton Genty, and there's literally zero concern about the running game and zero concern. A lot of very limited. If there's zero, maybe that's not fair to say zero, but it doesn't seem like there's very many people worried about the collection of running backs replacing him, which is crazy to think about with the number 6 overall pick.
Yeah, it's just different. I mean, they may get close to the same kind of production, although that's probably a little bit of a stretch, but it's just different in terms of doing it by committee. And we go to practices and we go to scrimmages and we talk to these coaches, and every day it's a Breezy day, or it's a Sire day, or it's a Dylan day. Greg Ard, the sixth kid in the running back room, had a big pop over the weekend in terms of one of his scrimmages. So I think it's pretty cool. The one instability thing, and I think it's kind of cool to have some sense of unknown going into a new season. But who's going to be RB1? Is it going to be Sire? Can he be healthy for an entire 12 games? How good is Sherrod? I mean, there's so many questions about the running back game, but so much confidence as well that it's kind of a dream come true scenario for me.
Yeah, and we talk about expectations for this team, but it is like it just I don't know. I guess that's just the level that Boise State has now reached, where you can lose an Ashton Genty, you can do what you did last year, and there's a lot of people that think it'll be a disappointing season if they don't at least get back to that playoff again.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're used to high expectations, right? And that just seems to be the case every year. I mean, everyone was what is the stat that 15 years in a row were predicted to win? 18 years in a row predicted to win the division or the conference. And so, I mean, that's pretty remarkable. But there is a lot of talent coming back, and I think a lot of belief and faith in Spencer Danielson and this staff. And there's always something to be said about the culture of winning, and they're used to being in those big moments. But it'll be a test here on week 1.
By the way, we saw Jay Tuss walk by. He literally, I always thought he did it all, but he literally does now. I saw him open the door for somebody.
Yeah.
And he's the greeter now too. I mean, that's
he was signing autographs, I think.
And then the guy gave him $10 for it too. It was very, I was like, really, out in public like that? You're going to charge? But it is what it is. But Mike, what in terms of this, fall camp coverage, I get it, is positive. There's, you don't report interceptions a lot. There's a lot of positive stuff. But is there been anything where you I don't know, not concerned maybe is the right word, but anything that you're still not sold on yet, or if this season were to go awry, down the line, where you could say, I was never really sold on that, or is there any concerns you still have?
Yeah, well, I don't know about concerns, but there's definitely some question marks about the offensive line, and there's pieces, but they just haven't quite built the puzzle yet in terms of 9 starters last year, and most of those guys are back. And I think one of the cool things about fall camp is they've been able to rotate a lot of guys in, because a lot of guys have been limited in terms of that, and they've been pretty open about that in terms of the kindness of the world and the carry-ons of the world. So it's given a lot of kids opportunity. I think there's some depth. I think there's some serious depth on this offensive line, but getting the stability, and even if they were all together, the offensive line is always going to give you some concerns about, can I get through an entire season with all 5 of my guys? That's not going to happen, but can I do it with 9 or 10 in terms of some rotation? So I'm definitely keeping a close eye on the offensive line.
Travis, I know you're obviously very connected and seen a couple practices and then just kind of following media coverage and everything else. What's your take on kind of the strength of this team, but if you also see any weaknesses or things that you're still waiting to see answers on? Yeah,
I mean, I think a big question mark for me is just around the receivers and the passing game. I mean, I feel like again, the pieces are there, and I feel like they've got some really good talent, but it's always one thing to have the talent on paper and another to perform on the field. And that's one thing we have specifically with the receivers this year is not a lot of guys who have done it right on the field consistently. So that's a big question for me. That's obviously going to be, really critical. I think, lots of people have talked about, how key Maddox is to this season, and as he goes to the team on a lot of levels. And then, I think the other thing I'm excited for is just with the, that front 7 on defense. I think there's a lot of new guys, a lot of young guys. I'm very optimistic that they're really good, but again, it's unproven, and we lost some key guys. I mean, whenever you lose guys that are playing in the NFL, those aren't easy holes to fill, and we have that on both sides of the ball.
Prater, you talked about the jersey that might sell, and by the way, they're getting ready to start like a marketing Learfield meeting over there, so maybe we'll tone it down just a tad here. I'm sure they love hearing us, coming through. But in terms of the defense, Is it a Jaden Virgin Morgan? Is it a Ty Benefield? Marco Notriani's jersey is right there as well next to Virgin Morgan. But in terms of the star power on this defense, where do you think the jersey's ranked there?
Oh, the star power on this defense, that's going to be a tough one. I mean, Jaden Virgin Morgan, if he can produce the stats, but, I'm not quite sure, individually that he's going to be as productive as he wants to be. Collectively, maybe with him and Steege and some of these other guys on the D-line, we'll see how it does. They're not going to get 55 sacks like they did last year. But can they do it collectively with that front seven that you were talking about, Travis? I'm more excited about the back end. And I know there's some concern about the back end, but I see a really, really good development in terms of the progress made since the Fiesta Bowl. And I think that these guys are going to be really good. I like the tackling. I like the athleticism. They're going to sacrifice some sacks, if you ask me, but they're also going to get a lot more takeovers. And frankly, that wouldn't be hard based on as many as they didn't have last year. So I think the playmakers on the back end of this defense might be the most exciting part that's about to unleash this football season.
Okay, so 3 things that weren't great last year, although, is the tackling, as you said, on defense, the lack of interceptions or takeaways in general, and then giving up the big plays.
Yep.
If you guys could choose one of those that would just flip in a big way this year for this defense, which one
that's
would you
easy.
prefer to have?
The turnovers, that's easy.
The takeaways,
you get the takeaways, you win games.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100% there. And back to Maddox too. My number one storyline for this entire football season is can Maddox Madsen win over the fan base? Because if he wins over the fan base, then great things are happening and successful things are happening. And it almost goes back to what you talked about in terms of the passing game. So it still drives me crazy. I had to block an idiot last night, and I don't block people on social media, but he's throwing out just stupid words, and it just drives me crazy that people are hating on him. It's okay to question him. I question him. We all question him. He's not a Hall of Fame quarterback that's the prototypical type that's going to take you to the NFL, but he can get things done because of the intangibles, and his intangibles are superior. And if Maddox Madsen can win over the fan base, everything else in this football program in this season takes care of itself.
I really thought coming into this year we were finally past some of that.
No. I mean, I think they're making progress, and there's less and less of the haters out there. But until Maddox Madsen can get rid of most of them, especially the idiot haters that just drive me crazy, and they shouldn't, but they do, Maddox Madsen, he needs to win over the fan base, and that takes care of all the problems.
I would say, though, that part of this just goes with the position, right? And if you look over the last 25 years, I mean, outside of Kellen Moore and maybe Ryan Dinwiddie, all those quarterbacks were really criticized by fans at times, right?
True.
I mean,
although this one seems more personal.
Maybe, but I mean, he hasn't been booed in Bronco Stadium like Jared Zabransky was and like Bart Hendricks was.
So true,
I mean,
true.
This is just goes with the playing quarterback at Boise State. And, there was like some quote quarterback controversies, for his first 2 seasons. And that's always going to impact things. If he was 6'3", he would be more liked, which is crazy.
Yep.
But I honestly, I think that most the fans really like him and are on board. And I think what you can't deny is his toughness and how he goes out there and his toughness. And I mean, I was pretty impressed with his performance in the Fiesta Bowl, in a difficult situation when it was hard to get the run game going. And you go back and watch that game. He made some pretty incredible throws.
Double O'Neill says Mad Dog's my hero. And then D-Ray saying, Prater, what does he need to do?
I think he just needs to do what he did last year and 3,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, a CFP. I mean, usually when you do stuff like that last year, you are.
That's it. That's all.
Well, no, I think that those are realistic expectations because I expect the passing game to be a little bit better this year. I truly do, back to your point. So 3,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. I mean, he did that last year on a run-heavy football team. And if he does that, Boise State's going to be in the CFP. And if they have one loss to Notre Dame and there's somebody out there with no losses, they can't control that. But just put yourself into the picture and make things happen. So be clean up some of those sloppy plays that we all kind of jumped on last year where did he really see that middle linebacker 7 yards in front of him? Clean up some of those because those did happen. But after that, I think he's a fantastic quarterback with unbelievable intangibles. I personally love the kid. I got to spend some time with him this summer away doing some NIL stuff and hanging out with him in a parking lot for 4 hours on a Sunday morning and just chatting and hanging out and meeting family and friends of his. And I just think he's a really, really, really cool dude. And I want him to be appreciated. But you make me laugh, Travis, in terms of the Bart Hendricks and the Jared Sobranskis. You're right. Maddox Madsen has not even come close to being booed like those two dudes right here in this exact stadium.
Yeah, someone pointed out, obviously, the quarterbacks the last couple of years that Maddox Madsen has beat out. But I mean, you've had. I remember when like Hank Bachmeier and Taylon Green was here, where there was this controversy where they cheering when Bachmeier or Green,
yes.
I forget, there was that whole thing, and in the last couple of years, yeah, there has been, but there's no. I mean, the controversy this year is QB2. Not QB1. I mean, Maddox is that at all part of this where there's really no one can really, I mean, is there really people out there pushing for Max Cutforth to be starting? I mean, there's not, that's probably why there are more people, I think, in part, maybe just because there's no other option or
the value of Maddox Madsen. I mean, if he goes down for whatever reason, this football team, I don't care how good it is and how much depth there is, this football team's in trouble if Maddox Madsen gets hurt. So not only in terms of being healthy, but being productive and sticking on this football field. Because I'm not confident in either one of those QB2s yet.
And I'll just say one other thing about him. I talked about his toughness and in the intangibles, like you said, but also like his resilience of what he did go through the last 2 seasons with quarterback controversies, a 5-star recruit coming in that fans are excited about, and all of that. And yet, what did he do? He just went out and took care of business, right? And I think that is very impressive.
And so you even have the haters in the chat. Madsen getting the blue carpet treatment, poster outside the stadium, no solid QB brought in to compete with him. He's good, but a lot of people on here like to treat him like he's elite.
Ooh, I don't know about the elite.
Pretty good numbers last year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's an elite quarterback, and maybe that's part of the process of this year, but I think he's really damn good. I don't know what the definition is between elite and pretty damn good, but I mean, he could be elite by the end of this year.
Yeah. I want to talk Spencer Danielson, though, from a coaching perspective, but also from a booster alumni relationship standpoint as well. And in our final segment of the show here, but I'm maybe not giving some of the other sponsors proper love today. Hopefully, you guys go support all of our great sponsors that are making shows like this possible. We'll take 30 more seconds to remind you of them, and then be back here at the Blue and Orange Store in 30 seconds on Bronco Nation News.
Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, RovePaint.com. Our major sponsors, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, Lithia Ford, the Blue and Orange Store, Jackson's, and our contributing sponsors, Signature Roofing, Western Collective, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Boucher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and Timberstone Golf Course.
Back here live at the Boise State, the Allen Noble Hall of Fame, the new Blue and Orange Store location. Prater, this beats doing the show from the studio.
I don't have to plug into my computer or sit in my old crappy chair. So this is can we do this every Monday for the rest of the season? Can we do Travis Hawks and Blue and Orange Monday every day for the rest of the season?
We can work on that.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we can work on that. This is a pretty cool spot, and it's a really cool spot and a lot of cool stuff. And I know they've said it's been great. As you said, the month of July was very good for viewership and folks stopping by here and checking it out. I know it's only gonna continue here. I mean, the hat you're wearing, Mike Prater, is getting rave reviews. But I mean, even there's this wall behind us, but there's even another one over here where the whole show I've been looking at it. There's 5 or 6 pretty darn cool hats on that rack itself.
I'm still blown away by the fact that wall has 1,000 to 2,000, 2,000 to 3,000 hats buried inside that. That's crazy amount of hats, man. Crazy amount of hats. There isn't a hat collection in the entire state of Idaho bigger than what's right behind us right now.
And you even had
it's about 4,000.
4,000.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, speaking of visitors, we got a tour of campus going on right now. So folks are walking by, visiting campus. Hope you enjoy your tour here to Boise State. But you even had it with the NIL with Ashton and Taylon Green, where they had they got to design their own hats.
Yeah, that was fun. And it was fun working with those guys. Those guys were both outstanding people, and we had them into the office a couple summers ago to design those hats, and that was fun.
Yeah. Spencer Danielson.
Yeah.
You mentioned Maddox Madsen, and I don't know whether he has something to prove this year, however you want to phrase it, but some people want to say Spencer Danielson has something to prove this year. He doesn't have Dirk Cutter, this legendary OC. He doesn't have Ashton Genty to save him and all this. I mean, I think the proof's kind of been in the pudding with what he's done this year. But in terms of Spencer Danielson, what you've seen from whether it was 8-9 years ago when he got here as a GA to what he's done and taken over as head coach. And I was looking at some old videos, putting some new intros together, and just was going back and reminiscing about the 2023 season and how that all went down at the end of the season, and then him getting the job and then what they did last year. I mean, as someone that, works closely and go with these coaches and this administration and everything. It's got to be I know you like previous coaches and everybody as well, but it's got to be nice to see Spencer and on the field what he's bringing, but he also brings a lot off the field as well. Yeah, he's just a tremendous leader, and he's very authentic. I think everyone gets that and sees that, and he's just very real. I think he really is elite at connecting with people. And I think the environment we're in right now with the dollars and the NIL and everything else that's going into recruiting, honestly, I think that is mission critical for Boise State to have somebody like that, because that's our differentiator, I think, with recruiting is Spencer. And it's amazing. He's done an incredible job. It was you think about the sliding doors sometimes. I mean, when Harsin left, Spencer certainly had an opportunity to go with him on that staff. And had that happened, we'd be a whole different set of circumstances, right? Of what would have happened for him, for us, for everything from there.
From last year too.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, everything would have been, a whole different situation. And Spencer is, again, he's an elite leader. And I've had the opportunity to watch games from the sideline, and it's hard to describe the way that he connects with players, and it's very unlike anything that I have seen. When Coach Pete was here, I used to always tell people, like, we're just so fortunate to have Coach Pete, and he was a one of one as a generational coach. And I'm not trying to be unfair and start to throw Spencer into that yet, but he has that potential, I believe, and I believe that we will look back and have those same feelings about Spencer of just like, we're so lucky and thankful that this guy's the head coach at Boise State University. And I know, Mike, a lot of people said, he's gonna, the act can't stay. He can't. He's not this kind of guy. Off the field, the handshaking, all stuff. He can't keep doing this. I mean, but he still comes over at practice and says hello and shakes our hands. And you see him on the sideline talking to boosters and everybody at practice. And he still made time, even with recruits in town, to come to our BNN function out there a couple months ago at the Western Collective. And to this point, it doesn't seem like he's slowing down at all.
No, not at all. I mean, I spent a lot of time, way too much time, wondering about this guy and his future. Where's Spencer Danielson going to be in 5 years? Where's he going to be in 10 years? I'm fascinated by this guy, not only as a coach, but as a human being. He is such an amazing leader, and the timing of his presence here at Boise State with all this transition of everything that's going on in college football is absolutely spectacular. The way he retains, 83 returning players off of a very successful team last year. 10 coaches? Are you kidding me? I did a show the other day, back east, a radio show, and I said he retained all 10 of his assistant coaches. He might be. I said, I didn't do all the research, but he might be the only guy that retained all 10 of his coaches, at least from a winning football team. And they said, no, they said, that's impossible. I said, all 10 of them came back, and he told us that all 10 of them had job offers. So what he can do in terms of building a family and putting a fence around them and creating this environment, I think is really special. I don't say that a lot about a lot of coaches. I'm the kind of dork that actually liked Andy Avalos because I like coaches with an edge. But Spencer Danielson brings such a family vibe, and it works. And the roster retention is the most important thing in college football right now.
Do you buy this? He has something to prove this year without Genty and Cutter and all this?
I don't. I really don't. And I look at it differently than Madsen. Madsen, yeah, I do think he has something to prove. I don't know why I feel differently about Spencer Danielson. Spencer Danielson is going to be fine. He's going to be fine for a coach. If he wants to coach for the next 40 years, he's going to be a spectacular coach. And obviously, he's going to be a spectacular human being as long as he's on this planet. So I'm not so much worried about Spencer Danielson having to prove it. I think he just goes out and, there's pressure to go off and repeat what he did last year, or the Dirk Cutter and Ashton Genty effect. But I think Spencer Danielson is going to be just fine.
And in general, as we kind of start to wrap this up, but just the overall health of this department. You mentioned the North End Zone facility and what's going on over there, Travis, and just everything that continues to happen in the 4 or 5 year. Again, we're not here to bag on previous ADs, whatever, Mike, but you think about some of this stuff, and it's like if they could have just got a 2, 3, 4, 5 year head start on some of this stuff, where they could be right now because of how much ground they've made up in so recent years. But the trajectory is certainly uphill right now, and they've got a lot of good things going for them. Yeah, it's a tremendous time, to be a Bronco. There's a lot of uncertainty, we know that, and there's a lot in the college sports landscape that nobody knows what's going to happen. But
Yeah, it's incredible. We did go through a time of we got behind, we lost, multiple years, and that's hard, especially in this changing landscape. But I give a ton of credit to Jeremiah and to Cody and to their team, because those guys are making up ground, right? They're doing the work of 3 years and 1 year, and making up ground as quickly as they can. And there's a lot of exciting things going on. The North End Zone project is going to be amazing. We're very fortunate as Boise State fans to be in this situation where we have Jeremiah Dickey and Spencer Danielson and Leon Rice. And it doesn't really get better than that, in my opinion. And, I talked about, all the common theme with all of these people is they all have had other opportunities, right? And I talk about, like, in building successful businesses and organizations, it's so critical to find and retain elite talent. And it's rarely that you retain elite talent purely based on dollars. And culture is critical to retain elite talent. And that's something that Spencer understands. That's something Leon understands. That's something that Jeremiah understands. And that's why they're doing it. The roster retention, the assistant coach retention, even just retaining these two head coaches and the staff that's here, it's because of culture.
And not to put you on the spot here, but Prater, you're a unbiased media guy here. Tequila Gus says, why was it so quiet previously, in particular under Absey? And not to get too into the weeds, whatever, but why do you think it's changed under someone like JD here the last couple of years?
It's about personal management style, and obviously, Kurt was a great dude, and I think he was a placeholder, and he probably looks back on it and knew that he was just kind of keeping the ship steady, but not really a lot of growth. And then here comes Jeremiah, who really is a special guy. I mean, there's probably more Kurt Abseys in the world than there are Jeremiah Dickeys. And back to Travis's point, and that's why Boise State is so blessed to have that guy here and to be able to retain him as well. So, the city of Boise and this university as a whole, when it comes to roster retention, plays such a massive, this hat, Boise, plays such a massive part of this. If nobody liked this university, if nobody liked this city, or what we can provide in terms of just balance of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, it's not going to happen. So I think it's really cool that he's taken that next level. And I think the North End Zone provides security. Jeremiah Dickey could leave tomorrow. Man, nobody would be surprised. But I think he's going to be here at least through that grand opening next year. He wants to see that through. He wants to see this university into the Pac-12. After that, we'll see what happens. He's not going to be here forever, but the next year, he's going to get a lot of stuff done.
Well, I would just add, it's, again, so much about vision. And I always go back to literally the first day Jeremiah was on the job at his first press conference. He said, what we don't have, we'll go out and get.
Yep.
And that's the attitude they've taken. It's never been like, we can't do this. It's been like, why can't we do it? Right. And, I just think that the previous regime was more of an attitude of what we don't have, we don't have. And it's so the culture change and that mentality of, like, we can go do great things, and it may seem hard, but we'll find a way to do it. And we're seeing that, right? Record fundraising year after year after year.
Tulane celebrating their $3 million, whatever, a couple days ago.
Ouch. Alan Noble, $25 million.
And I think, we'll get this North End Zone done, and that's not the end. I think that
I wanted to ask you that. What is kind of your excitement level for where we're at, but the future possibilities? We're already hearing about resloping the sides, and maybe at some point doing an end zone project down here, and there's premium space that Extra Mile Arena needs, and we've seen all these big drawings and pictures of all different kinds of things. What the next, the next 3 to 5 years, what excites you about what's going on here?
I absolutely think that something will happen on the east side, and whether that's, the big hotel, retail, piece of it, or it's just, the stands itself. I think there's going to be something, very critical, important happen on the east side. And I think there's going to be some key things happen at Extra Mile Arena and for the basketball program, and just continuing to build. That's the thing I think about how difficult it would be to be a leader here at this time, because, again, the landscape, you can't plan for 10 years right now. You can't plan for 3 years of what's going to happen in the landscape of college athletics. And so I think what they have done correctly is they've just said, we're just going to improve in every way we can, on field, off field, facilities, budgets, fundraising. We're going to just improve. Is there going to be this breakaway? Is there going to be, 60 schools do this? Is there going to be, more expansion of super conferences? Who knows? And so instead of sitting around and saying our whole goal is to get into the Big 12, no, our whole goal is to get better at every single thing we're doing. And that makes Boise State attractive to whatever the future of college athletics holds.
And Mike, you've seen this place, 30 whatever plus years in this industry, and just as an Idahoan and stuff. I mean, to see the momentum they have right now, it's got to be at an all-time high.
Yeah, it's really exciting. And these first 5 games of this football season too are really, really exciting. Can you imagine if Boise State takes care of business in Tampa, comes back and deals with stuff with Air Force, which I think is a crazy game. Then all of a sudden Notre Dame is looking, if this football team can get off some crazy momentum and get off to a great start, this place will explode.
How about how almost all the tickets are sold?
Yeah.
How about that?
90+% for every game already.
In mid-August. I mean, we've never seen that.
Yeah. I remember laughing at Jeremiah when he said 6 games, 6 sellouts.
Yeah.
I said, good
Who's
luck.
laughing? Who's laughing now?
Exactly. Good luck with that, buddy.
The championship game they sold out last year. I mean, that was for me an all-time in my 12, 13 years here. That for me might have been the all-time moment, was seeing that big noon kickoff and then the goalpost coming down and that whole night.
It's pretty incredible.
Sold out football games at Albertson Stadium from here on forward. The expectation is to sell out every single game. That's the expectations.
Absolutely.
You wake up and that's the bare minimum. Think about that, guys. Think about how much that's changed.
Well, it is pretty crazy. Travis, we appreciate you having us down. One more plug here for the location here. You obviously still have the location at the mall. You still have online, the blueandorangestore.com, but normal business hours of the Hall of Fame, folks can come down here and check out this awesome spot.
Yeah, we'd love people to come down, and yeah, we're at the mall. We've we opened that store in 2006, and that is going strong. And we have our Pro Image stores out at the Village, in Meridian, and out in Nampa by Costco. And then, yeah, we're excited about this Hall of Fame store. Come by and see it. And then on game day, look for our tents, trailers, kiosks, kind of all over the parking lot and the stadium. And know that we're going to not be perfect from day one, but we're going to do everything we can to be innovative and to be great partners with this athletic department.
And we speak about contracts and all this. We got to get the Pro Image into Circa. I got another hat company there, another apparel company. We got to get Pro Image into Circa down there.
Well, you know how to do that.
That's the next step.
You just tease him with a steak from Barry's. That'll get
the rib cap.
That's all you got to do, man.
Yeah.
Barry's and some rib caps.
Just a rib cap steak. I'm in.
I shouldn't say this, and I won't say which one, but a head coach of another Mountain West basketball team, a head coach that for some dumb reason watches this program, reached out to me asking about the connection with Circa, and I made the connection with Circa, and he went down there last weekend, and I told him he had to have the rib cap, and he said it was one of the best steaks he's ever had, and they took care of him, and he got to meet Derek, and he was out there all weekend at the pool and everything. So I'll just say all the Mountain West coaches aren't half bad. We'll just leave it at that.
I love all those Mountain West basketball coaches.
If they go to Circa, they have a good time there. And by the way, if you guys want to fight over these cards here, I mean, we have Hall Schmidt. We can get you Prater if you want to take this back to Johnny. You mentioned Colton Boomer. We do have the Max Cutforth. What's your gut? Is this QB2 right here?
Yes, but I don't think we'll ever know that until we need to know that.
We're thinking we're going to get the OR on the week 1 depth chart on Saturday. What do you think?
Makes sense.
100%.
Yeah.
Max Cutforth, Lopez Sanusi, you got Caden Anderson, Jalen Webb is another cool one here. I mentioned Hall Schmidt, but you pulled out we got
don't forget my favorite
Cam Bates.
Come on, man. I love Cam Bates.
Latrell Caples as well. And then this is the one that maybe we pick a comment on here or something and give this away.
That's a valuable card.
Let's give that away. Cage Casey autograph card.
The autographed Cage Casey card. If you missed this at the beginning, Prater just randomly. That's just the kind of luck Mike Prater has, pulling the Cage Casey card there. So Travis, appreciate you for letting us come down here and for your continued support of BNN. They did officially announce these trading cards, so go to Jackson's, pick those up as well. And Prater, thanks for you as always. And what's our next? Did not put you on the spot here. You got any thoughts for your next column here?
We'll have one this week. Not sure. And you're going to go do some press conferences today, touch base with Spencer Danielson and try to figure some things out. We'll have one more for next week for game day. So we'll
touch base and figure some things out. Yeah. Code word for he has no clue what he's going to write.
No clue.
Hasn't thought about it yet.
It's Monday morning at 11 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock.
He's lucky he has a nice boss here because we got to get some columns getting pushed out here. Come on, Mike Prater.
Yeah, we do. It's football season. And I do appreciate your support. And Travis, I've always appreciated your support. And Blue and Orange Store and what you guys do is always such an important part of the Boise State picture. And for you to kind of give us a little love over here too as well. We always appreciate everything you do. So thank you.
Appreciate it, Travis. Thanks, Prater. Thank you to all. Record. I wish I was like making this up, but we have record viewership today. 170 alone on.
Whenever I'm on,
YouTube.
it's record viewership. I tell you this.
I mean, Prater. I thought it might. When I said Mike Prater would be on today, I figured that was it. But I'm not just saying this. I mean, there's 821 right now. Just kind of wanting to hear for some reason what he wants to say, not what we have to say.
Exactly.
But, appreciate it, and the whole crew down here for having us out. They're getting ready to open the doors here in 3 minutes for folks. So we got to get out of the way and let them make some money in this building. So hope you guys have a great day. Appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow morning. And don't forget tomorrow, right over there at the James Kitchen and Bar, 8 o'clock, the debut episode of the Riley and Ridge Show. And we're talking, guys, about NIL and all this. We're going to have current players this year come on over to the James with Riley and Rid, courtesy of Jackson's. We're kicking it off with Matt Lauder and Matt Wagner. So tomorrow, Matt Lauder, Matt Wagner live on the patio at the James at 8 o'clock if you want to join us. Looking forward to that. We got Sanford and Johnny coming up on Wednesday at 8 o'clock. And then Brad Bedell and I will be at Circa Resort and Casino Thursday and Friday for their Ultimate Contest weekend as we get you set. And then, Prater, we got to work on Saturday. We got a press conference on Saturday for game week with Spencer Danielson. We'll get our first. I just saw there's the Kansas depth charts already come out. We got a lot of week one that I just saw it pop up on my Twitter feed. They're playing Fresno State on Saturday, week 0. So we got a lot of fun. I'm sure all of Bronco Nation will be pulling for Rock Chalk Jayhawk on Saturday.
Go Bulldogs.
Fresno, so. All right. Appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your day. 3 to 6. Any early teas, Prater? I know you'll have a lot of NFL preseason from over the weekend on your show today.
Yeah, and we're also going to be hanging out today with little Kenyon Sadiq, the Oregon tight end from right here in Idaho. So we always check in with him straight from camp. By the way, 4,000 hats on that wall. I'm still fascinated by that.
Count that. I call
Four.
You go count it. You go count it, BJ. You go count it.
BS on that.
4,000
You
hats.
go count it.
I'm going to call BS on that. After the show, I'm going to go count that.
Count them.
Actually, 3,999.
Will Prater give the hat back? That's the story for after the show. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Listen to Prater and Johnny 3 to 6 today. We do have some interviews. Breezy Dubar talking today. You guys will hear from him on their show. We'll get his interview up on the YouTube channel as well. And then be back at 9 a.m. tomorrow. I believe Jay Tuss, the door greeter, will join us on tomorrow's show. So have a great day. BroncoNationNews.com. Go subscribe. Thanks again to Travis. Go check out the Blue and Orange Store, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.
Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, RovePaint.com. Our major sponsors, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, Lithia Ford, the Blue and Orange Store, Jackson's, and our contributing sponsors, Signature Roofing, Western Collective, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Boucher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and Timberstone Golf Course.